What's going on, everyone? This is Fighting Words with Kevin Shells. I'm Shells.
Kev, A-Count Sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is coming up a massive card. Massive. Yo, MSG never disappoints.
Never ever in any combat sport.
I was about to say,
But if you got a local team, it's pretty bad.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, but fan is pretty bad. That's what I'm talking about. But when it comes to fights,
never fails. You're right.
Fight of the century, Ali Frazier. I mean, even the fights, Riddick Bowe having a brawl with Galata, walkie-talkies flying, building getting evacuated. Madison Square Garden when it comes to fights, never
can't forget Iron Mike. Can't forget Iron Mike. Please don't forget Iron Mike. That's our local Brooklyn dude right there.
Man. MSG, man.
All the moments he had over there. Yes, definitely.
Listen, man. Just when remember when we talked about UFC 280 with Oliveira and everything, and we was like, man, that this is gonna be the biggest card of the year. Somehow UFC
listen
managed to top that.
No, you're right, absolutely. Because remember we was talking about UFC 280. We were saying that the significance and implications of that card is what made it what it was. Yeah. So what it was before, both these cards even was displayed on pay-per-view. We was all saying that 280 card it just got the edge because of the storyline. But we always gave 281 its due as to what the possibilities were, and it already had its own implications. And we seen after the way things played out, the performances did not disappoint in regards to what the hype was.
Well, let's go to the biggest story of the night.
Please, let's start it up. The
main event.
Izzy.
Yep. Go ahead.
Versus Pereira. They say 3 times a charm. The unofficial trilogy. The unofficial trilogy. You say 3 times a charm, but unfortunately for Izzy, that did not play out the way he wanted it to. Izzy lost after 5 rounds of mastery. He caught a bad one.
You thought he had? That's what you thought. What else you thought about the fight? I'll let you go first. How did you feel? How do you feel that Izzy fared with Pereira in the fight? What did you see going on in that fight?
Okay, first I'd like to say this. Let's just put this out there. We both are wrong on who we thought was gonna come out the top victor in this one. This is us and most of the world.
We both had Izzy.
And we was right for most of the fight. I saw 2 different fighters completely. What most impressed me about the fight, we'll go to who won in a bit, but what impressed me so much about the fight was how both of them came there with a whole different set of artillery to bring to each other. I felt they brought the best out of each other. Tell you the truth.
Right.
I was immensely impressed with Izzy's ground game performance. I had no clue.
Who called that?
Right. And to Izzy's credit, if his strategy had more ground game in it, was more ground game heavy, he probably would have came out the victor just based off the ground game. Because he was, I want to say, ragdolling would be an exaggeration, but he was, I would say, manhandling him. I want to say I think manhandling is just a little on the ragdoll.
I think he caught him in a position or two. When he had him down, he kept him down for a little while.
He controlled the pace.
He had the advantage when they hit the floor.
He controlled the pace.
He controlled it, but it seems that he didn't have. He couldn't
finish.
He couldn't advance. He held him there, but I felt like he wasn't. He couldn't apply much damage. He just held them there, which was good. That's ground control.
You know what it's like, Kev? I'm a nature buff. Like, I grew up, as a kid with my grandmother watching nature shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He looked like when a lion's first kill, like they don't know what to do. Like it's there, but they don't know how to make that finish kill move.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking. It's like he was playing with his prey. Like they know how to finish it, but I gotta give credit to the man that performance was immaculate. In regards regarding
Izzy?
Izzy, yeah, with the ground game, like in regards to what he's done before, which is we all see him as a striker, and to me, he's still the greatest striker in the UFC presently. But in regards to precision and angles, but we'll get to what went wrong. But Alex still came out the better fighter for the third time. And you can't say no one ever said it, but after 3 times, we gotta say this man has Izzy's number. Until Izzy proves differently, this man has Izzy's number. Like I said, I felt that they both brought the best out of each other. They both did to each other what they made the other fights look easy and a breeze, and this is the fight where they really had the challenge to. Even Alex, he had to go through another obstacles to get to where he got to which made it even more impressive.
That was expected. That was expected that he would have to go through
adversity like that.
Yeah, that was expected. Yo, watching this fight from my observation from the weigh-in to when they were in.
Hold on, not to cut you. The question you asked about what you think I thought. I know what you're talking about. Let me just get to that point real quick. The stoppage.
Are we going to the stoppage or okay?
That's what you was bringing up, correct? Or am I wrong?
No, but you can go there. You can go there. Or you had an issue with the stoppage?
I won't lie. First, I thought I did have an issue with the stoppage.
Oh.
I felt it was too early. At first, because of the way the only reason I felt it was too early was because of this is like when I see a fighter's reaction right after the stoppage. A lot of times the fighter will, for most of them, protest the call, and that's understandable. Your ego's on the line. You're a fighter. All these things are on the line. You don't want to put it in the hands of the ref, and a lot of times you even be in the knowledge of yourself saying that you thought you could have, if you just been given more time, you could have figured something out. But a lot of times when that happens, the fighter's still stumbling while he is protesting, which would say, well, the ref did make the right call.
Yeah,
but I didn't see Izzy stumble, but what Izzy did say in the conference, he was on the gate, and Izzy did say that his coach and manager both said that it was a good stoppage. So if Izzy trusts us, hey, so if those guys say it was a good stoppage, there's nothing more I could say.
I don't care even if they didn't say that was a great stoppage, bro. First of all, I was listening to Izzy talk about it, and he's saying that he was swaying, but he could still see what. First of all, Pereira started to pour it on to the point where Izzy's legs, he couldn't get away from him mobily.
Yeah.
Now he's in the ropes. Now he's getting caught to the point where his hands drop. So now he can't defend himself this. Now all he's doing is swaying this. You know what's gonna happen next? He's gonna get put on the floor. It was getting from bad to worse to worse. The referee stopped the fight, which is why he was able to even do that. 2 more punches, that wouldn't even been there. This fight reminded me a lot of. It's 2 things I gotta say. This fight reminded me of Jermaine Taylor and when he fought for my boxing guys, Kelly Pavlik. Early it was Jermaine Taylor with the jab, boom, boom, and those 2 were rivals. They fought as amateurs. And Taylor with the jab, but as the fight went on, Kelly Pavlik closed the distance. Taylor started to get tired, and he got him in the ropes. And boom, 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 it was combinations. The referee got there a little late. By the time the referee got there, the referee 2 punches earlier, he would have still been on his feet. 2 punches later, he's on the floor with his head bouncing off the ropes.
Unnecessary damage.
And it bothers me to a point. Is these guys talking about I'm hearing Izzy and I'm willing to die in there, and it kind of triggers me. And I don't like to hear that. It triggers me. You know why? Because it's not about dying in there. That's not actually, in all actuality, that might not be the worst thing that could happen to you, bro. Like, you can actually get paralysis in there. You get neurological issues in there. Like, Izzy after the fight got to go out and party after with his mink on and be able to talk and probably didn't have to go to the hospital. That could have not been the case. 2 or 3 punches later, this dude is hitting like, bro, he really, if you watch the fight, he really was catching Izzy in spots. And you can tell Izzy didn't really want to get hit by any of those. Yeah. At the end, he was getting uncontested punches, bro. Izzy was not responding. He was trying to hold, couldn't grab him, and these punches was hitting him clean, bro. It was gonna get worse. He was gonna be face first on the floor. That's the next thing that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Next thing. He was not defending, bro. There was no offense coming to get Pereira off him. That wasn't happening. It was about to get real bad, bro. I don't know what anybody else is talking about. I'm like, that referee needs a raise, a fighter's bonus, all that. It's tripping.
Everything you said was on the money. What surprised, except for one thing, what surprises me is you said that it triggers you that these fighters feel this way. How else are they supposed for you to even take on that career path? You gotta have that mentality. That's why we got tournament and referees to protect you.
No, you don't. You don't have to have that mentality. I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I think the opposite. I think that you need that mentality when it's needed. When it's needed. You know what I'm saying? But after the referee done saved you, he saved you. That's it. He saved your life. Just hack it in and say, yo, we'll do it. We'll tie it up again. There's nothing else to talk about. You seen what is there to talk about? You was gonna do what? There was enough time. Was it more than a minute left in the fight?
Yeah.
I was about to get ugly, bro. Ugly. Like, we'd be talking, bro. If the referee didn't stop that fight,
you probably talking about how referees,
and Izzy would have been laid out like that. We wouldn't be talking about a rematch. We would not be talking about a rematch right now. It reminds me of slightly of Conor with the alibi. If his leg, Poirier started to bust him up, he had the alibi excuse. He started to pour it on him, and then he broke the leg, and he had that to fall back on. If that did not happen, bro, you wouldn't be seeing him in the same light. You wouldn't. It is Conor. Visual. Nah, bro. This is entertainment. And remember how we talked about pound for pound? You said perceived dominance. There's a perception. There's a perception that comes.
So he loses the perception once that hits the canvas.
There are certain things that can happen that breaks that, bro. That breaks it. And I'm telling you right now. So Izzy being laid out like that breaks that perception. Like Kamaru is different because it happened out of nowhere. It was no dominance or anything. This dude, like when I watched this fight, I was on pins watching this fight because what I seen from this dude was different from everybody else. First of all, there was no reach advantage. There was no nothing. Every time Izzy threw something, this dude was catching it and the geography of the fight, the way he was closing the distance on Izzy, I'm like, yo, like, I'm like, it's only a matter of time before he start to hit him. Like, like Izzy caught him early, and I was like, okay, maybe that'll back him up. But he got the takedowns. All of that was great. But when Izzy had to deal with what he was pouring out, he couldn't stand, bro. He could not. He was giving him angles earlier. Maybe he hurt his leg. Izzy said he hurt his leg. Maybe that prevented him from moving in that last round. But when he had to stand in there, bro, he could not stand with this dude, bro. He couldn't stand he couldn't, bro. When them punches started, bro, when he started letting them things go, bro, fight was over. Fight was over, bro. What's next? What's next for Pereira, man?
You answered it. You answered it based on the ref saved them and saved for us an immediate rematch. I believe that the performance and Izzy deserves it. He's not entitled to it, but he deserves it.
Absolutely.
The performance was a solid strategy up until the last moment.
Izzy was awesome, bro. Izzy was awesome.
So yeah, he just based on everything all the work he put in, and even though you're right, based on argument, I don't care. It don't matter what work you put in. It depends on that performance. But the performance to me warrants an immediate rematch. That's simple.
That's everything.
Rematch. I believe I cut you off before you was going to say something. Was that what you was going to say?
Was that?
Because you used to say something before I started to begin the stoppage conversation. You were saying something.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That was it. I just wanted to make sure we missed that part.
Yeah, this whole thing, I'm ready to die on myself. I get it. It's cool. I get it. Referees stop the fight. Let's just fight another day, man.
Yeah, and that's why
I'm looking at it plain as day. I'm like, I get this pride involved, but yo, he was about 3 punches from just being laid out. In the garden in front of everybody. In front of everybody, bro. That just would have been just messed up on so many levels.
Yeah.
And it was enough time. I don't think the round wasn't running out, bro.
Nah, it wasn't. There's a lot. There's a lot of time
He was done.
to get the job done.
It happens, bro. It happens to the best of them. He gets the opportunity to fight him again. I'm
Yeah,
in
I believe he
favor of the
does.
rematch.
I
I'm
believe
in
he
favor
is.
of the rematch. I think the interesting part is because Izzy, as you mentioned, how he was successful with his ground game, and Izzy's not even a ground guy like that. It's interesting to see what will happen if he fought anybody else. If they will be able
And
to that stands out. But at the same time, remember Izzy didn't have a great ground game either. But his striking was so easy. You said Izzy is the most dangerous striker.
I still believe so. Yes.
Bro, after seeing this dude he's a problem, bro.
Now he is a problem.
Not only that, he was able to.
Let me stop myself. Is it fair for me to say Izzy's the number one striker?
And he got knocked out. This is the.
I was gonna say I was gonna edit myself. I was gonna challenge myself. Is it fair for me to say Izzy's the most the best striker in the UFC if he just got dominated by another striker?
That's what I'm saying. For the second time.
For the second time. Second time or third time? It's the third time.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about knocked out.
Okay.
Because by all accounts, Izzy was winning the first fight, right?
Yeah, he was. I believe so too.
Damn, bro. I mean, like when he started letting them, and he was closing the distance. And what I was looking at too, bro, Izzy he was catching punches. The feints wasn't really throwing him off. He was in the pocket, I'm looking at Izzy. I'm like, yo, this got to be so uncomfortable. Like I give Izzy all the credit in the world, like his mental toughness, being able to stay focused and all of that. In the heat of that kind of pressure, because he was trying to cut the ring off. He was just missing with the hook when Izzy gave him angles. I'm saying Izzy was just sliding out. Izzy looked good, but as I watched that fight, bro, I'm saying to myself, yo, if Izzy don't drop this dude,
it's over.
Not necessarily that it's over, but he's gonna have to deal with it. He's gonna have to really deal with some. There's gonna be some incoming at some point.
So Kev, is it fair for me to say this then? Alex is the most dominant striker in the UFC right now. For what we've seen so far.
Yeah. With all due respect to Izzy.
Like, no, but it's no.
We're not trying to dismiss him or anything that he's done so far.
For what we've seen,
he'll get a chance to correct it.
So this was gonna say he does. But this was gonna say
today.
Is it fair for me to say that Izzy's the best technical striker in the UFC?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll say that. Technically,
he's the most. He can do it from anywhere. He did it off his, moving, throwing counter punches. He's excellent.
Yeah, I think he still got the fundamentals down packed the most out of every UFC striker. But right, Alex is the most dominant though. He is the most dominant.
Yeah, bro. Like,
I would say
combinations, accuracy. There was punches he threw. When I say he was just missing Izzy, early in the fight, just missing him. And I'm uppercuts. I'm like, damn, like he's just missing that. I'm like, yo, like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yo, if he. And Izzy got caught early with some good punches too.
Yeah,
body shots, all that. He was taking it. Yo, Izzy a champion, man.
Don't forget the leg kicks.
Yeah, there was some leg kicks, and those are advantages. Izzy, because of his size and his sight, his vision, he can see. He understands distance. Like he was in there with a dude when all of that stuff just didn't matter, bro. And then another thing is too, this dude rehydrated. He was 100 and he rehydrated 30 pounds in this fight overnight. And the first fight against Strickland, he rehydrated almost 50 pounds, they were saying. They said the night of the fight, he weighed in at 225.
Yeah.
You going in there with a light heavy.
His rehydration game is on point, bro. His rehydration game is on point. Yo. I don't know what he's drinking. I don't know what he's doing.
That's natural. It's natural rehydration, bro. Like that happens in boxing all the time. Like you see dudes, they shrink down. The weight cut is terrible, but once the weight cut is over, yo, their body naturally just grabs everything. It just Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it might be a proper way to do it. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're not just drinking water. There's a science to getting back to that in a healthy manner too. I'm pretty sure
and all of that.
Yeah, you're not just putting water. Feel like, yo, let's do this. Nah,
I'm pretty sure you some Pedialyte and all of that.
Yo, you never know. That's probably the secret.
Yeah, that's what
Yo,
they be drinking. They be drinking
you never
maybe it's
know.
not Pedialyte, but it's that stuff that you
No, I'm
dehydrate.
no, that's what bro. I'm trying to say maybe it's people like there may be someone one of them out there like yeah, that's the Paul Costa still not telling us what's in his juice. Yo, we probably figured it out. He's not telling us what's in that juice. We probably figured it out. Hey, you
It's
never
so
know.
crazy, bro. Every dog got his day, right?
Every dog got
Fight
his day,
game
but
is
but
just
but 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 here's the
amazing.
thing though. Izzy hasn't had his against Alex yet.
No, not the full day. Like 3/4 of the day.
Bro, it don't matter. Yo, it's
11:59. You've been
all
at
well that ends well. So
11:59.
if it don't matter how your day went, if it end the way it ended, it's put a fork in it.
At least he was able to walk out of there, bro. It could have got worse.
Yeah,
This
could have got
dude is
definitely
this
got
dude
worse.
is dangerous. He had more in the tank. And them punches was coming, bro. I mean, that last sequence was just crazy. Able to do it. This was worse than the last knockout to me. This was worse than that. Because it was a one-punch thing, boom, you were winning the fight. This one was this dude
I'm
was
playing it
talking
on
all
you.
fight, and here I
Yeah,
come. You know I'm
yeah.
coming, and you couldn't stop me. You
Mm-hmm.
couldn't stop it, bro. You could they could say what they want to say. You couldn't stop the rain, bro. It was pouring, bro. It was
No
torrential
umbrella, right?
downpour. Torrential downpour. It was he wasn't missing, bro.
Yeah. It's
Oh
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
man.
Ridiculous. I'm interested to see how Izzy would change his strategy for the rematch if he's given one. Because here's the thing. Let me just point this out real quick.
Mhm.
When Izzy was asked, "Do you want the rematch?" Most people, like most time, I'm listening to these post fight interviews, and it's Usman, for
You say
example.
yeah.
He said he got to talk to his coach about it, coach and manager about it. When you hear something like that, what does that tell you?
It tells me that you got to make adjustments. He understands that it's a tall task, and he might not be ready. That's honest. He might not be ready. I don't think it means he's scared or anything like that.
No.
He
That's
didn't
not.
didn't
I'm not
say
even
I
suggesting
won't
that.
fight him, but he has to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
don't want it. I think it's very important. I think it's very important sometimes. A lot of guys with pride, they just jump back in. And in the UFC is interesting because it's not like boxing where the promoters involved and everybody has like this interest in the guy. In the UFC, it's the company is king.
Yeah.
And if you need to be fighting this person, and they'll egg you on to fight this person. So I think but bro, the weird part about this fight is he already cleaned out the division. There's no tune-up, and there's no other fighter that's going to prepare him to
For
fight
that
this
kind
dude.
of
Who do you fight? He would have to fight himself to prepare. He'd have to fight a clone. I mean, because that's the type of firepower he's going against.
Yeah.
Maybe even this dude probably hits harder than
Firepower. He's just
dude hit harder probably.
yeah. He hits harder. Is he said himself wouldn't prepare him for that kind of power. The only thing himself will be able to prepare him for is trying to figure out a new way to adjust his striking game. But I don't think we jump at the gun. But I don't think strike will be his path to victory against Alex.
He was doing so good, the holding and the clinching, but if he could catch him earlier, and to me, if he fought Alex, the only way I could see him beating him, I guess two ways, maybe with the takedowns, but you taking a risk even doing that. I think he would have to go for broke early, bro. It got to be a cockfight. You got to meet him in no backup. Meet him in the center of that ring, and whoever land first.
Oh, I don't think that'd be a good idea for
Bro,
him.
he hurt him already, didn't he?
He hurt him, but
Nah.
I mean,
Because all I'm seeing is as these fights go late, he's the one with more in him. This is the second time it happened. As these fights go late, he got a little more than Izzy. And it's different for Izzy because this dude isn't like the other guys. The other guys, the guys that Izzy fights. Izzy is like, he reminds me a bit of like Roy Jones, and guys that are quick, and they're so quick that you can't really. Guys start to cover up after a while because the punches are coming in, and the worst punch you get hit with or kick is the ones you don't see. So after a while, a guy kind of, they're not engaging. They're trying to survive, and Izzy can coast.
Mhm.
Izzy can coast a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The guys are so defensive; they're flinching off of every feint, and that's making them tired. Not Izzy.
Yeah.
But in this fight, the pressure that this dude was putting on him, it fatigues you, bro. And as this fight went on, he was done, bro. Like an avalanche, bro.
Yeah. And it came out the blue. It came out the blue.
Yeah.
Like avalanches usually do.
Yeah.
Going back to what we said is even further why these guys should have that immediate rematch.
Immediate
rematch, man. There's no one else in the division that is a viable contender against Pierre at this moment. And I think it's easy, that performs, like I said,
You
once
think
and
he
he
should
getting that
come right
immediate
back?
rematch. Huh?
Do you think he should take some time off or just come right back?
Who, Izzy?
Yeah.
Only Izzy can answer that. Only Izzy can answer that because we don't know what's going on in regards to his health. We don't know what damages he really took on. Only he can answer that one. And like you said, he might want to talk to his coaches about what adjustments need to be made and how long will it take for those adjustments to be made. So, but if in a perfect world, the immediate rematch is what is, I think, it's the most legit next fight for Alex. That rematch, because it will let us know, like, this solidified. Listen, I beat him in kickboxing, and I beat him in MMA. Because this MMA fight was different than their two previous kickboxing matches. This is a whole different fight. So,
bro,
he did the same result. But what I'm saying is,
I think he did solidify it.
I mean,
don't get me wrong. There should be a rematch, but
ain't no argument here, man. Like it
was
legit.
good, bro.
This
was a good, bro.
This was a good fight. I think this was the best we've seen it. This was the best Izzy, and it was the best Alex one we saw. There was no there was no fouls.
And you know what's crazy? I was
book.
thinking about this. Let's say for some hook or crook, Alex didn't make weight his next fight, they would still have to fight it out because of the perception.
Yeah,
he would still have to get in there. Izzy locked the door behind him and figure it out, bro.